Yo, what's going on, YouTube, and welcome back to Goal Line Hockey. It's your boy Kevin Forte. Guys, we got to take a look today at the Metropolitan Division. This is by far and away through the first 5-6 games of the NHL season, the first 3 weeks of the season. The Metropolitan Division is right now, without a doubt, the best division in the NHL. And we're going to talk about why right now. So for context, we're looking at the Metropolitan Division. There is 17, 25, not good at math, but I'm trying, guys. 33, 39, 45, 50, 55 combined points in the Metropolitan Division through the first 3 weeks. In the Atlantic, we have 17, 22, 27, 32, 36, 40, 42. So 55 for the Metro, 42 points for the Atlantic. Again, this is division by division. 18, 23, 28, 32, 36, 39, 41. That's 41 for the Pacific to the 55 in the Metro. And then let's head to the weakest division right now, which is the Central. You have 16, 22, 27, 31, 33, 34, 35 points. So, just to put in context, right? The Atlantic has 42 points. The Metro has 55. So, the second closest division right now from the Metro, the Metropolitan has 55 points between all 8 teams. The closest division is 42 points, which is 13 points less than the Metropolitan Division. That just shows you the gap right now. Now, is that going to last all season? We're only 5 or 6 games for most teams. Probably not going to be a long-term thing, but going into the year, did we not talk about the Metropolitan Division being an absolute beast and going to be a couple of really disappointed franchises come February and March and April? Because I think this is a season where you're going to see 1 or 2, potentially 3 Metro teams not make the playoffs that thought going into the year that maybe they could. Looking at the standings right now, it's the New York Rangers on top. Now, to be fair, they have played the most games out of these other 7 teams. They've got 9 points in 6 games. They're 4-1-1. Carolina 4-0. They're the only team without a loss in this division. Pittsburgh is 3-0-2, so they've lost games, but in overtime or a shootout, so that does mean something. Washington 3-0-2 as well. New Jersey 3-1. Columbus, who we thought would be lower, is 3-2. And then the Islanders and the Flyers, who people had winning this division in the preseason, are at the bottom. And they're 2-1-1 and 2-2-1. So it's been just a very weird start to this season for the Metro. Because you look right now at the playoff picture. You have the top 3 teams. You have the Rangers, Carolina, and Pittsburgh making the playoffs. And the 2 wild card teams are New Jersey and Washington. Okay, well then who's behind them? I kid you not. You look at the wild card standings right now. You have the top 3 teams. Then it's Washington and New Jersey make the playoffs. And who are the 3 teams behind them? The rest of the Metropolitan Division. Columbus, Philadelphia, and the New York Islanders. Who are the other 5 teams left? Tampa Bay, Toronto, Boston, Ottawa, and Montreal. Not only out of the playoffs, not only not in the wild card, but behind all of the Metropolitan Division teams. So to put that in context, I know that Tampa and Toronto have the same amount of points as the Islanders, But again, based off of how the standings are right now, based off of goal differential and all of that, The worst Metropolitan team is better than the fourth best Atlantic team. Again, take with that what you will. Take it with a grain of salt. But if you look at the context and the standings, that, in terms of tiebreaker, is what it looks like. It is unbelievable. Now, again, this is going to change, more than likely, because do we see Toronto, Boston, and Tampa all missing the playoffs? Probably not, but listen, crazier things have happened. You're also looking at Buffalo and Detroit ahead of those other teams and being in the playoffs and playing each other in the first round at this point, which probably not going to be what we'll see in March, right? But as of now, that's what we're seeing. Now, the only real dominant team in this division right now is the Florida Panthers, who are perfect 5-0. Now, Buffalo's pretty good. They're 3-1-1. That's a pretty good record through the first 5 games. But the other thing you have to remember, too, there's been a lot in the Metro, a lot of playing each other and picking up points against each other. So that is something you also have to remember a little bit, too. But, man, you have to give some credit here. This is going to be a really tough division. Because right now you're looking at the Rangers playing the Washington Capitals in the first round. We've seen that plenty of times. Carolina and Pittsburgh playing each other in the first round as the second and third seed. And then you look at the Florida Panthers playing the New Jersey Devils in the first round of the playoffs. And then Buffalo and Detroit. How weird would that be, right? But enough about the Atlantic. We're talking about the Metro today. Guys, this is going to be an absolute slaughterhouse of a division. And this is what I'm not really shocked to see. I don't think anybody is really that shocked to see this. So, is this going to be this big of a gap as the season goes along? Probably not. But it is something to definitely look at, because right now you're looking at, honestly, the Pennsylvania teams. Both those two teams, they look really good to start the year. Let's give them the love that they deserve. The 3 New York metro area teams, the Islanders, the Rangers, and the Devils, the Islanders' record was slow to start, but they've now picked up a point in all 3 of their last games. New Jersey look good. The Rangers on a 4-game winning streak. 5-game point streak. That's 5 teams right there. And I didn't even get to Carolina yet. And Columbus, who was 3-2. They were 3-0 to start the season. Right? So this is going to be interesting how this plays out. I would tell you I know how it's going to play out 5 games in. I tried to make my predictions in the preseason. It's a long season, guys. And it may be one injury that makes the difference here. Now, honestly, I thought Pittsburgh was going to fall off because they had no Malkin, they had no Crosby. So you just assumed, all right, they're probably going to go belly up, and it's not going to work for them. But they have held in there and played really good hockey despite losing Malkin, Crosby, and now Jeff Carter, who was on COVID protocol. So 3 of your top 3 centers are out of the lineup, and they're still winning hockey games because of good goaltending. Tristan Jarry has been great. And Casey DeSmith has to a lesser extent, but he's been good too. And here we are, talking about the Pittsburgh Penguins, running 2 teams out of the building to start the year. They ran out Chicago and Toronto, mind you. Philadelphia ran the Seattle Kraken expansion team out of the building in the return of Dave Hackstall. So, what is going on right now? This is just absolutely crazy. And guys, we are in for some really good hockey the rest of the way. So if there's one division that you want to keep an eye on, it's definitely the Metropolitan Division, because we talked about it all preseason, we talked about it all summer. There were a lot of teams looking to fight for playoffs in this division. And in this format, the Islanders and the Flyers missing the playoffs would absolutely be room for some shake-up. And why didn't we make the playoffs, right? The NHL wants parity in their game. You want the definition of parity. It is right now in the Metropolitan Division. We always talked about the West being a really tough, the Pacific Division in particular being a really tough division. We're kind of seeing that shift to the east side of the U.S. and North America, as that Metropolitan Division has been really good. And when they started adding teams like Carolina and Washington into that division a couple years ago, it was just foretelling of what we were going to see, which has led up to today. So guys, let me know what you think in the comment section down below. What do you think of the Metropolitan Division this year? Let me know your guys' thoughts down below. Guys, as always, thank you so much for watching this video. Make sure to check out our Streamlabs shop in the description down below. And you want to pick up some Goal Line Hockey merch, help support the channel, all of that stuff. But if you want to do something just to help support the channel that's free, give this video a big thumbs up. Add an even bigger subscribe down below. Helps just as much. I appreciate it just as much. As always, guys, thank you so much for watching. And I will see you again next time.